you surprised at how much success Juwan Howard has had this early in his tenure
Yes.
at Michigan?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know if you guys remember, I said when Juwan got Howard, when Juwan got hired, might have been right before he did or whatever. I said, listen, bottom line is Tom Izzo is fearing if Ed Cooley takes this job. And I just felt like Cooley already had done it in college, right? And his personality, you guys probably don't know Ed Cooley, but his personality is the opposite of Juwan's. Like he can sell anything to anybody. He's at Providence. Providence is a shitty job. And he got him in the tournament like 5 straight years. They've been just okay. The last 2 years they haven't been quite as good, but I still felt like Cooley would do a really good job at Michigan. My big thing with Juwan Howard was if you look at all the former NBA players with $100 million plus in their bank account that have come over and coached in college, they failed. Almost every one of them, right? Clyde Drexler years ago. Obviously, the recent examples are Chris Mullin and Patrick Ewing. They've both, Mullin sucked. Ewing's on his way to not getting it done. We know that. A few guys have gotten it done, but for the most part, they don't understand recruiting. They don't understand. You got to be on the phone all day, every day, right? Like Penny Hardaway. Look at him. He's not getting it done. Like they've underachieved. So it was almost a broad brush that I painted with Juwan Howard. Is here we go again, another one. Now, Juwan also he did inherit a decent team last year with 2 really good senior players at key positions, right? Point guard and center. Like those are the 2 positions you want. He had them. Those guys came out of the gates and they were ready. So I think it helped him a lot recruiting wise when they got off to that start. But yes, he's way better than I thought. And you wonder too is how much of it is like he inherited some good players. There's the Michigan brand, which goes a long way, right? You can recruit anywhere with Michigan brand. And then also having kids that play AAU ball when he jumped in. How much does that help? Because he's out there anyway.
It
He's
helps.
out on the
Yeah.
circuit. Yeah.
It helps
You
a
agree?
ton, and the kids we talk to in covering the recruiting here.
Yeah.
I mean, more than half the kids I talk to have a personal relationship with Jet Howard or Jace Howard or both,
There you
and
go.
Juwan. And because that's how Juwan is, the way that he interacts with people. If he's watching his son, he's not just sitting there in the corner watching his son sticking to himself with an entourage in the corner. He's there, him and his wife, and he meets every parent and every kid there. So yeah, I agree with you that we're surprised too. I would say I've been surprised.
Are you?
It's to this extent. I thought he could do well. I don't think that I thought he could do this well this soon and recruit this well this soon. But
I thought he'd get help from. Here's why I thought he'd do pretty well recruiting. Was because I thought he'd get help from the Jalen Roses and the Chris Webbers and some of those guys. Like Jalen and Webber, they're on TV all the time. They're not allowed to make calls to recruits, but like nobody's allowed to make calls and everybody does. So that's a bunch of bullshit. We know that. And I'm not saying they're doing it. I'm just saying like it wouldn't shock me if they're doing it. And again, everybody's doing it. So
they're not.
He's got people in high profile places that can speak highly about him on TV as well.